Hello, everyone. This is Joanna Polski from the Accountable Mindset, and I'm absolutely delighted to have Neil Moggan from Future Action, the founder of Future Action, here with me today, who has agreed to share some of his great successes, lessons learned, and also the challenges he's faced on his way to where he is today. So, Neil, tell us a bit more about Future Action and how you decided to set it up.
Good evening, Joanna. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me on your podcast today. So my name's Neil Moggan. I'm founder of Future Action. We create online teacher training courses for teachers to transform the life chances of their young people. And we do that through online courses and editable resources, focusing on improving mental health and financial literacy. In terms of how it's set up, so back at the kind of start of lockdown, I did a NLP course and really kind of thought about what I wanted to achieve for the rest of my life. So it's a bit gruesome in the end, thinking back to when I leave this planet, what I actually want to be remembered for, what I actually want to do. And I was pretty clear on kind of four key purposes. One of them was to help people, help transform people's life chances. And around that time, there's a lot of talk about kind of mental health and the problems with the economy that's going to come on the back of COVID. So I was really looking at that in real detail, and I found some academic research that I really liked, and I built around a course around that, because in my day job, I'm a director of sport health and PSHE. PSHE stands for Personal, Social, Health and Economic Education, and they kind of overlapped really nicely, and I thought I could help a lot more people if I create my own business and get this out to teachers across the country and long term across the world, hopefully.
This sounds absolutely amazing. So because very often we've heard about the challenges and maybe not so positive sides of what happened to individuals and families during COVID, but you actually found this as a source of inspiration for founding something that helps others.
Yeah, definitely. I think kind of I've been a teacher for over 16 years now, and in the last recession, 2007, kind of at the time it was fine, but as the years went on, the paying conditions never really improved or recovered. And I was thinking about that situation, and I was thinking about kind of what I was scared about, really, and that was having to teach till I'm 68. I love my job, I love what I do, but I didn't want to teach till then. So I was really thinking about, right, I'd love to teach till I'm 50, but then what do I want to do from there on? And I thought often they say the first 5 businesses, it takes 2 to 5 businesses to hit the jackpot. So I thought, right, let's start now, make lots of mistakes, learn from it, and then hopefully by the time I'm 50 in 10 years time, then I can be in a position where I'm really good at this business malarkey.
That's a very good way of thinking forward and already putting some KPIs into place. What would you say? Sorry.
My wealth dynamic is very dynamo, so big picture thinker, visionary, creator. So I'm always kind of looking kind of 5-10 years down the road. What do I want my life to look like, and how do I get there?
Okay. And what would you say, from all the great experiences you've had so far, what would you say has been most helpful with this venture that you have now set up with Future Action?
Well, firstly, it was to get started, just have a go and just get started and worry about getting perfect later. So I'm not frightened about making mistakes. I'd much rather make a mistake than on my deathbed think back and think, I wish I'd had a go. Yeah. Don't be frightened to make mistakes, and look out, try and build connections with people that are further forward on the journey. I've been fortunate enough through joining the Wealth Builders community. There's some incredible, inspirational kind of mentors and people within that community that I can learn from. Joanna, you were one of them. You helped me with my marketing really early on, and I really appreciated that. And I think just ask questions, be humble enough to know that you don't know everything. In my case, I don't really know a lot, but I'm desperate to learn as much as possible. And if you're open-minded and you ask those questions and you listen carefully, then you can learn a lot of lessons quickly and kind of make progress quickly as well.
You're very humble there, I have to say. And I very fondly remember when we first met, because the Wealth Builders community is a great community, and there's a huge variety of individuals from very different backgrounds who really have this aim of having a secure financial future, not just for themselves, but also for future generations.
Yeah.
And setting up future actions, it really seems to play very much into that legacy, and that and looking at what future generations will need today as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's a very good fit for me working with Wealth Builders. We're currently working on a joint venture around kind of a financial literacy program for teenagers for parents to purchase for their teenagers, and that's really exciting. But it all kind of ties into kind of what I do on a day-to-day basis with my job as a teacher, and kind of creating kind of inspirational courses that are going to make a difference to a person's life in the long term.
And what would you say has been the most interesting learning, or maybe experience or challenge, that where you took what you know, what you've seen as a teacher, and you moved it into effectively creating a business off the back of it, and taking a very different look at effectively what you have been doing before, and how you can support that community, that the future of of the UK, really, young people?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, as a teacher, your customers don't pay to come to use your business. They kind of have to come to school, don't they? So for me, the biggest learning curve has been around marketing and about getting my message out, and that's where I've had a lot of help from people like yourself, Joanna, people like Kevin Whelan, the founder of Wealth Builders, and also I've done a really good course with Donald Miller, who created the book The Story Brand, and I've done an online course with them where it places the customer as the hero and the business as a guide, really, and that's been really transformational for me, really, and really helped me grow. And I think that's probably been the biggest success of the business, is to see how much I've grown in the last year since the start of lockdown. And that's probably been the thing that I take away from it most, the importance of investing in yourself and recognizing where you're not particularly strong, and to work on that. And I'm now working with a brilliant guy called Jim James, who is within our Wealth Builders community. He's kind of mentoring me at the moment around PR and marketing, to build the business further, because I felt I'd reached kind of a bit of a plateau, and I needed a kind of an expert who's been there, got the t-shirt, to really take me to the next level, and that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment.
So would you say that having a coach and a mentor with that you have really seen a difference in what you see is possible, and how you progress towards that?
Absolutely. I think being part of that Wealth Builders program, it doesn't feel as lonely as it would do if I was on my own. Like sometimes you feel like I feel like a complete amateur. I'm just trying to do my best, think this is the right thing to do. But just by having those more experienced mentors and coaches to speak to, then it's really beneficial just to get their opinion. And like, I'm in the process of setting up a property company with my wife, and we got a load of feedback around kind of an investment document on Tuesday. But just to get everyone's kind of perspectives was just really eye-opening for me, and thinking about things that I hadn't thought of yet. And it's just like, you feel like you can achieve anything with the support of the community behind you. You don't feel like you're on your own. So I would definitely recommend that. Yeah.
So that's really interesting, because you have joined the Accountable Mindset community as one of the very first founder members, so to speak. So how would you say is the community different, or what differences have you seen? Because the community very much focuses on the business side, but also accountability and mindset.
Yeah, well, initially I joined because you'd been so kind and generous with your time, and I really appreciated that. And then I joined, and then I really found the social media prompts really useful and beneficial. Like, so I'd just see it pop up on Facebook during the day, just on my break time or something. I just see it, and it would just make me stop and reflect and think, right, how can I get better at this? How can I do better at that? So I think it's a really good kind of prompting kind of the use of social media posts has been brilliant for that. And I think there's probably people just starting off in the journey in the accountable mindset group more so than the wealth builders community group. So it's really nice to be with people of kind of a similar position, really, that are kind of finding their way, taking chances, having a go, getting some things wrong, getting some things brilliantly right. And it's just great to be part of like-minded people, because sometimes when you start something new, then the people within your old community or your friends and family sometimes struggle with that a little bit, and maybe unintentionally say stuff that isn't particularly supportive. Whereas when you've got people that are all like-minded, understand what you're going through, kind of the isolation at times, sometimes the frustrations, the difficulties, then it's great to be part of a community of like-minded people.
Yes, I think especially as the founder and nowhere really trailblazer, but because this is what you're doing is not very commonly done, certainly not in the UK. It's when you look around, you think, who can I maybe not necessarily model myself on, but who's doing something similar, what are they thinking, where are they coming from? And there's nobody, then, then obviously looking for an alternative community or point of reference, and finding that it's probably quite helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think you're doing an amazing job, Joanna, and it's fantastic to see how many new members are joining all the time to the accountable mindset. I think it's fantastic. It's brilliant. So credit to you.
Oh, thank you so much. But, it's having members like yourself, I think that this is really what makes the community, doesn't it? With your journey and what you have been doing, what would you recommend someone who's thinking about setting up a new business or a new venture, maybe doesn't know where to start and how to go about it? What would be your suggestions and thoughts about that?
I'd say just start. Just start. Whatever you do, just start. Yeah, particularly around the time that I first started, I was listening to a lot of Rob Moore, where he says about start now, get perfect later, and it's just have a go. What's the worst that can happen? Like, what is the worst that can happen? Is someone going to die? Hopefully not. So as long as that doesn't happen and you're not hurting anyone, then have a go. It's much more important to kind of have a go and maybe fail than not have a go at all and have those doubts and those questions for the rest of your life. So that's my take on it anyway. Like, obviously you don't have to follow that, but I would just say just start and ask questions, be open-minded. You don't know everything, so ask questions of more experienced people. I'm always on the lookout for quality mentors. I did that in my own career. My ambition was to become a director of sport when I graduated from uni when I was like 22. I found kind of the best director of sport in the area. I learned from him. He's become one of my best mates, and I achieved that ambition at 33, mainly because I could bounce ideas off him, see what someone in that role is doing, and I'm looking to do the same with my business. And that's why I partnered myself with Wealth Builders, because obviously they're very successful at what they do, and I that's where I want to get to transform more people's lives.
Okay, that's really interesting. And with what you have achieved, how important would you say accountability and mindset have been in that? Yeah,
very important, because if it doesn't matter enough to you, you're not going to do it. So it's really important to find your why, and I'm very clear on what my 4 purposes in life are. I did that for my NLP course. I've got 4 purposes. They're written on the board. You just can't see it on the background, but I've got a vision board, and then I've got all my objectives for 2021. We achieved our second one of 2, which was to purchase a second student property today. We completed today, so I'm absolutely buzzing about that. So I've got my 4th rising now, Joanna. So
fresh off the press. I heard you heard it here first.
Yeah, we're absolutely buzzing about that. But because our vision board is right by this office behind me, I look at it every night when I'm doing work on my business, and I've also got a little vision chart that I borrowed from Danny Wade about kind of where I want to be in when I'm 50, and what freedom I want, and the world I want to create for my children. I've got two young children, a little daughter who's 5, and a little son who's coming up to 2. And everything I do is around trying to be the best dad that I can be and create fantastic futures for them, really, and for my wife and I.
So I think this is really a truly inspirational view, and I think there are a lot of the people who are going to be seeing and listening to this who will think, I really want to do something like this as well. And I think the fact that you have a vision, this is something that really can make a lot of difference, especially when there are challenges. So it's not always plain sailing, no matter how successful the outcome. So having that vision really, and there's something around the brain that we're having actually a vision board really helps over just having a vision in your head. So it's great to see that it really works for you as well. And I'm going to ask one last question. Is there a secret that Neil has that you can share with the listeners?
I thought about this one, and I've already talked about it, but it was about kind of searching out mentors, really.
Right.
Like, I don't think a lot of people would know like how much work I go into kind of building them relationships and trying to add value back to the mentor. I don't just want to take. It's very important to me that I give back, and even when you helped me, Joanna, I really tried hard to give value back, even though it was nowhere near what you'd given me. I obviously wrote your reference on LinkedIn and joined your accountable mindset and really wanted to kind of give value back. And I try and support everyone I come across. That's one of my kind of little secrets I've been really working hard on over the last year. Is everybody that I come across, can I add value to their life? Can I help them achieve their goal? Because I think Zig Ziglar wrote, if you help everyone to achieve their goal, then you'll achieve everything you want. Something along them lines. I don't think I've nailed that at all, but it's something along those lines. And I think just from a mental health point of view, when you do kind things for other people, that comes back to you and makes you feel better about yourself. And again, that's how I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered as someone who helps other people achieve their life goals. That's really important to me, and that's kind of my passion and purpose in life.
Amazing. Brilliant. I thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story and really this inspirational journey with us. All the best for the future. If someone wants to get in touch, what's the best way of connecting with you?
Yeah, so I love to connect with anyone really. So and try and add value to their goals. So LinkedIn's probably the best place. Neil Moggan. You'll find me there, and I look forward to connecting with anyone really, and finding out more about you and how I can help you. So yeah, please do, and thank you very much for having me, Joanna. It's been great to be a guest on your show, and keep up the great work. You're doing an amazing job. So I really appreciate what you do and how you've helped me in the past, and I look forward to kind of helping each other out again in the future.
Absolutely. And I'm really so delighted that in your clearly incredibly busy life, you actually found the time to be here and share your story. Thank you so much, Neil.
No, thank you, Joanna. Cheers. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.